Well, you see, in the phenomenal world, there is not a dominance of love and care from each of the members. So to protect oneself, the commitment of marriage and love is for one person to protect them from the chaos, and so there's a loyalty that excludes others, but in heaven we don't exclude. On earth you have to, and if the other partner is unfaithful, well, the bond on earth collapses. It can't collapse in heaven, you see. It's made in the eternal, and in the eternal there is no exclusion anyway. But on earth, well, that's different. You know, in the phenomenal world of space and time and matter and so on. Here it's a bond of loyalty, not just a commitment to love. The loyalty is there as a vanguard against the chaos of good and evil that presents itself as such here. I've said elsewhere, haven't I, that it's not actually good and evil, it's good and good, it's all good because God is all powerful, but from our uncertainty, our ignorance, our juvenile mind and understanding, there's good and evil, you know, there's good and bad. And as a protection against that, protection against poverty and chaos of lack of care and so on, and our limitations as a person, of course. We here are restricted in resources and time and ability and ability to think of one thing at a time. I mean, broadly speaking, I know we get multitasking, but you know what I mean? Whereas the divine being, what we are in eternity, is not that restricted at all. It's unlimited. We are of God, you see. So that my care of you is not compromised by my caring for others. And my pleasure in all others is not going to compromise your pleasure in me or my pleasure in you. You see, it's a superabundance dimension, whereas what we are doing here is a very restricted, limited dimension. I mean, space looks eternal, but you know, you can't get to it and so on. You know, you can run, yes, but you can't go at infinite speed. Whereas, of course, in heaven you can be anywhere and everywhere at once, as desired, as right, and right according to the values that are God's. So it's hard to imagine what the freedom of heaven really means. We associate much of freedom with ungodliness, and in a sense, so it is here. It has bad consequences because we're in an apparently bad consequences. I mean, severely apparently. I mean, the horrendous evil that we feel that we see. And there are therefore rules to guide us through that. We walk through the valley of the shadow of death here, you see. It's most important that we do, that we fear nothing but fear itself. I mean, as something that's in the Second World War, wasn't it? The Roosevelt, the only thing we fear is fear itself. We have nothing to fear but that. But fear is what restricts us from experiencing the fullness of God and His wonderful reality, heaven. Yeah. So a single man might look at many women to see who he might marry in hopeful desire, but a married man will not. His eyes are only for her, and it's a discipline that he's most willing to embrace because he loves her, and she's so good to him, and is an oasis of goodness in this world of opposites, in this world of heat and cold, plus and minus, harm and help, and so forth. But if she breaks that by not loving him, or if he feels that, then, well, the vow becomes meaningless, doesn't it? He'll weather the storm for as long as he can, but life is difficult here, and he may walk away, or he may weather it long enough for her to walk away, but it won't be good, will it? For we are only good when we are in a loving relationship. And if that is spoilt through any misunderstanding or understanding even of what's going on, then, well, it collapses, I'm afraid. And we're not saying that's good, we're just saying that is what it is. In a sense, it's good, of course. All things are good, because it's teaching us how much we love good and how much we will avoid all we can that which is evil. As I've said before, we're in that place outside the garden as we feel it. We're not actually outside the garden, but we feel it to be so. And we can't return until we long for the good and long to be away from all bad, all that would cause evil and harm. And then we're fit for the kingdom of heaven. Thank you, Heavenly Father.